a brand new author. His new book, Sign Language, is currently #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. Here to favor us with a selection from this very tome, please welcome Mr. Jerome Seinfeld.
Thank you. What is it with these airlines? Everything is so tiny. There's always tiny food, tiny liquor bottles, tiny pillows, tiny bathrooms, tiny sink, tiny soap. Everyone's in a cramped seat, working on a tiny computer. There's always a small problem. There'll be a slight delay. We'll be a bit late, if you can be a little patient. We're just trying to get one of those little trucks to pull closer to the little jetway so you can walk down a narrow hallway where a man in a small jacket will tell you you have very little time to make your connecting flight. What is it with these dry cleaners? I once had a leather jacket that was ruined. Why does moisture ruin leather? Aren't cows outdoors a lot of the time? When it's raining, do cows go up to the farmhouse and say, "Let us in"? It's raining and we're all wearing leather out here? Thank you. What's with these drugstores? Why does the pharmacist have to be 2.5 feet up? Who the hell is he? He's a stock boy with pills, as far as I can tell. Why can't he be down on the floor with you and me? No. He's got to be 2.5 feet up. He's working with pills. Thank you. According to most studies, people's #1 fear is public speaking. #2 is death. Death is #2. Does that seem right? That means to the average person, if you have to go to a funeral, you're better off in the casket than doing the eulogy. Thank you very much.
Author! Yeah. Nice. I feel like I'm doing the Patty Duke show.
Thank you, Jay.
Very, very fine. Now, how did you end up writing this very tome?
Oh, Jay, I have, for many years, I have collected my works in a small cabin in Montana. I don't know where I got it from. I just write the stuff.
And it's a fine, fine book. It's #1 now.
Number one.
On the New York Times. Saul Bellows is pulling his hair out. Truman Capote is crying. #1 in the New York Times.
I know, I can't believe it. You know, because a lot of comedians come out with books. Sometimes they don't always write the books.
Right.
They'll take things from newspapers or wherever they get
Really?
them. Yes, oh. And, but this is all written by me.
Written by you,
I wrote all of it. Yeah.
And the margins are extra wide. All right, the book is Seinfeld. Very, very funny.
Thank you.